Oh my god! Woo! I like how it all went up at once. Hey everybody, welcome back. Thanks for taking the time to watch Hello Good Game. I don't even know where to begin today. We've broken the game client, we've unlocked infinite turn time, and we discovered a sick 2 to 3 card infinite combo, all rolled up in one for you guys today within Esper colors, which as far as I'm concerned is as good as it gets. Our combo revolves around the Cauldron of Eternity, Luminous Broodmoth, or the Mothra Supersonic Queen if you have the alternative art, and of course Gyruda, Doom of Depths, or Gygon Cyberclaw Terror, which is a by far superior art if you ask me. And we can use any non-flying legendary for this combo. I'm using Gyruda because the mill is awesome. Playing your opponent's creatures or your creatures is awesome, and we have a whole bunch of bounce effects, so we're getting a ton of Gyruda stacks, so we can mill ourselves, mill our opponents, and we also have Thassa's Oracle in here as the self-mill win condition, which is pretty cool. So again, all of that and more in today's video. Don't forget to give it a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel if you find any value, and of course share it to a friend as well. Let's get through the deck list, and then we're going to break down how you want to play your regular matches, and then if you're looking to break the client, how to go about that. Of course, we already mentioned Gyruda, the Doom of Depths, 6/6. When it enters the battlefield, mill 4 cards. Then you take a creature from either player's graveyard that was milled this turn, or from among those milled cards, I should say, and you get to play. This is really cool because Gyruda can mill copies of Gyruda, and you'll get those stacks on top of it, like I talked about. If not, you can get things that, when they enter play, will bounce Gyruda, again, gaining you more Gyruda stacks, which is the main goal of the deck, is to mill yourself so you can get to the position to either, have your opponent go through self-mill because you are in control of your graveyard through the Cauldron and your library, right? Because you put things from the grave back to your library, so they should mill themselves first. Or you can just use your self-mill win condition, which is pretty cool. So that's the first card. Next up, we've got the Esteemed Speaker, Niambi, a 2/1 with Flash, which is absolutely amazing. Having a creature with Flash is good enough, but what's even better is that when it enters the battlefield, you may return another target creature we control to its owner's hand or hand, and if you do so, gain life equal to that creature's converted mana cost. Gaining life is absolutely amazing. This has Flash, so we can declare a blocker, even if that creature is going to die. When the damage is going to come through, just before it does, we flash in the speaker, we bounce the blocker to our hand, we gain life equal to its mana cost, and we interrupt the damage without the death of our creature. All we have to do is replay it. That's very, very good. Absolutely amazing, and we can bounce a number of things within this deck. So all of the cards in the deck have very high synergies together, and no matter what angle you're looking to go for, you'll be able to get the most out of it through replayability of almost all of your creatures. We can also pay 3 to discard a legendary card, drawing us 2 cards. The only legendary we have to discard here, the Cauldron of Eternity and Thassa. Typically, we don't really want to discard the Gyruda, we just want to be playing those. But, Thassa is a legendary that we can't have more than 1 copy of. So to have 2 copies of an indestructible seems kind of silly unless you know your opponent has Exile. We're playing best of 1, they're probably not ready for this combo anyways. So, if you've got extra Thassas to discard, that's a great way to draw 2 cards. The same goes for the Cauldron of Eternity. Even early on in the game, if you feel like, they don't have any mill, they're not milling us, I don't have any self-mill, I sure wish, I had that 4th land, or whatever it happens to be, discard your Cauldron. It's better to be consistent early game and be able to survive and make it to the late game than to bank on the late game and never make it there. So the Esteemed Speaker is absolutely amazing for the ability to block damage basically and help you survive, and to draw you cards to make sure that you don't have an awkward hand. Moving on, 4 copies of the Mire Triton. This is a 2/1 with Death Touch, which is great. Also gaining 2 life and milling 2 cards when it enters the battlefield. The Death Touch is really cool. It's basically a form of removal as long as your opponent attacks into it. which of course, you know, if they have creatures and they're looking to attack, they'll do at some point, unless, you know, they have to step around and try to remove it. But then this removal is going to the Triton, not one of our more important creatures. And we're also gaining 2 life from the Affair, which is great, and the Mill, which is great. Moving on, a single copy of Thassa's Oracle. This is our primary win condition, I guess. A 1/3, and when it enters the battlefield, look at the top X cards, where X is your devotion to blue. Put one of them on top of your library and the rest on the bottom of your library in a random order. If X is greater than or equal to the number of cards in your library, you win the game. So there's not a ton of ways to stack devotion. You know, as it is an Esper deck, it's really spread around, but you can get there, and if you mill it, it's no big deal, because, you know, Cauldron of Eternity for 3, pay 2 life, tap it, bring it right back, easy peasy, lemon squeezy. You know, it's in cycle then at that point. Moving forward, 4 copies of Prince Charming, a 2/2. When it enters the battlefield, we get to choose one. Scry 2, you gain 3 life, exile target creature you own, return it to the battlefield under your control at the beginning of the next end step. Bounce effects on anything with an ETB effect are awesome. It will re-trigger it when it re-enters. Primarily, we're triggering Gyruda, Doom of Depths again. If not, you know, do whatever suits you best. Thinking of things that might suit you best, the Solemn Simulacrum. You know, this isn't your ideal bounce, but it is a very good one. A 2/2 for 4. When it enters the battlefield, you may search your library for a basic land card, putting it into the battlefield tapped, right? So playing multiple land per turn is always very good. And then when we're thinning our library of, you know, lands, that means the chance of those non-land permanent 4-drops to be milled by Gyruda are increasing, so we get good drops through that. So that's really great. It's not just good for the land, it's good for the abilities of pulling stuff from our or from our library as well, and even increasing the chance that we won't draw more land in our draw step, which is cool. Because who hates top decking lands more than me? I don't know. I'm sure some people, but it's going to be a hard challenge to win. Anyways, when the Simulacrum dies, you get to draw a card. So, you know, worst case, it dies. That's fine. You know, we did talk about the Broodmoth again. So when it dies, it will come back with flying. The ETB triggers again. And then when it dies with flying, we get to draw again. So we'll draw 2 cards, or 2 lands, and draw 2 cards through the Simulacrum, even without bouncing it, if we have, you know, the Moth in play, which is really cool. And then, of course, we can just bounce it for more land. So a lot of really, really cool stuff going on with our Broodmoth. Speaking of bouncing things, we have Thassa Deep Dwelling, a 6/5 with indestructible. As long as your devotion to blue is less than 5, it's not a creature. So that's not really a big deal. That's fine, whatever. But the key component here is at the beginning of your end step, exile up to 1 other target creature we control, and then return it to the battlefield under our control, which is really, really cool. It's just that bounce right back in. And talking back a second to relate to the Moth, when a thing dies, comes back into the field with flying, and typically when it would die again, it would go to the grave. If we bounce it when it has flying, it will come in without the flying counter on it, be able to die again, and then come back out with flying. So, you know, you can always bounce things with flying with Thassa to get them without a flying token, which will allow them to re-die without consequence, which is really cool. And then, of course, we can pay 4 to tap target creature, opening up our attacking lanes, stopping our opponent from attacking us. Speaking of stopping our opponent from attacking us, we've got 2 copies of Extinction Event, sorcery speed for 4, choosing odd or even. 9 times out of 10, it's going to be odd because our deck is even based. So when we're looking at a removal, things like Mire Triton, we do have a little bit of more removal when we get into it. Try to prioritize all of your single target shenanigans on even cards so we can clean up all of the odds with exile. Then we're not hitting any of our creatures with it. And then, of course, moving on, we do have 2 copies of the Mauling, instant speed for 4, 1 less to cast if they only control no basic lands, and then destroy target creature, and then coming and tapped, adding a black to our pool. Whew. A single copy of Atris, Oracle of Half-Truths, a 3/2 with Menace. When it enters the battlefield, the opponent will look at the top 3 cards of our library. They separate them into 2 piles, 1 face up, 1 face down, and we get to choose a pile to put into our hand. Absolutely awesome. And then, of course, the rest go into the grave. which is fun because that's like basically a form of self-mill, and then we can replay things from the grave later on. We talked about the Simulacrum, and we talked about the Cauldron of Eternity. We've got 2 copies of Lokmar Serpent, a 7/7 with flash, which is awesome. This is the Ugin killer, basically, because your opponent will play Ugin, minus on all your permanents, which still really sucks, but then you could flash the Serpent in and kill Ugin, which is pretty cool. And of course, you can pay an island, sacrifice an island to give it unblockable, which is cool. You can pay a swamp, sacrifice a swamp to gain 1 life, or sorry, yeah, gain 1 life, draw a card. And then what's really cool, especially against the current meta, aka Rakdos, is paying a blue and a black, exiling 5 target cards from an opponent's graveyard to bring it from the grave back to our hand. So, you know, Rakdos is going to have us mill and discard. We can get the Serpent discarded, which is fine, and then they're going to try to replay the Kroxa, you know, later on by exiling cards from their grave, but we can beat them to it and exile their grave, you know, of 5 cards right when they want to get their Kroxa in play, which is a lot of fun. Anywho, we talked about the Doom of Depths as well, and then the land base here is really fun. 3 plains, 3 islands, 2 swamps, 4 enlightenments, 4 bright climbs, 4 clear waters, and 4 passages. You know, we were flirting with the Stormcaller in our sideboard, but then we're running instances and sorceries to bank off that. So, you know, maybe in another life. But this has turned out absolutely amazing. This is our deck list, breaking down some of the strategies and synergies that we haven't already. I don't even know what we didn't cover. I think we got everything. You're gonna see us do some great self-milling, some pretty good defending, and then breaking the client, unlocking, you know, infinite turn time, and you know, unlimited stacks through the Cauldron of Eternity, our Luminous Broodmoth, and our Gyruda. We got up to almost 1100. I think it was 1075 before I actually lost sanity and had a meltdown. So some really entertaining footage for you guys today. I'll try to timestamp it for you. If you do find any value, make sure to like, comment, subscribe, share to a friend, and of course, hit that bell icon for more shenanigans. Thanks for your time and attention. I hope you enjoyed today's gameplay footage, and if you want to support financially, you can do so on Twitch, Patreon, YouTube, and of course, by purchasing all of your Christmas shenanigans through our Amazon link. All right, you guys, take care, and we'll see you at the end of this video for our wrap-up thoughts. All right, blessed be thy draw hands. You know, maybe we use this as a plains, maybe we use it as a swamp. Typically, we'd play it as a swamp, but we've got the double plains in hand within the Moth. Thinking through it more, we could skip the Moth drop on 4 Simulacrum for the second plains, but this all will depend upon our scry from the Prince Charming. That's how I break down the opening hand, and we've got, of course, our Thassa to bounce the Prince, bounce the Simulacrum, which is just like good news, good news, good news. That's going to help us get our Gyruda Doom of Depths out. Good news, good news, good news. We finally get a draw hand. Our opponent's going to concede. That is my life recently. I've been trying to play these jank decks, building them organically in the play queue, not to threaten my Mythic rank. And yeah, it's like the universe, just like when the opponent has the balls or the tits, they just go all out, smash you, and they love it. And then it's just like, when you get a good draw hand, there's not even a game. Right, so Serpent can go. We'll play it like we would normally. Maybe they're just, you know, doing their best to play that patience metagame, which is one of the easiest ways to start winning games in Magic the Gathering Arena. You know, you take your time, don't look at any of your cards, and just rope that booty, baby. And at a certain point, I feel compelled not to let these people get what they want out of it. So let's engage with Twitch here. At least they're active. More or less just started with Arena, collecting free decks and watching your YouTube videos. You like what I do. They play their land. They're here. Do you see that, you guys? If we would have been a regular person, not a streamer, I would have been like, this guy's not here. Done with this match. Let's get into a new one. The patience metagame is for real. I don't condone it, but it definitely exists. So let's Prince out. We have just the greatest hand though here. So I'm happy to play this out. We're gonna scry. our more land and some removal. I like all of that, but those can stay. You know, at one point we were trying to run the deck without the companion, but I feel like it's just so much more consistent with it. Even though you've got to pay for it, paying 3 is way better than just trying to draw it out of the blue. You think if you just had always access to pay 3 to draw anything out of your deck, that's amazing, right? So we've got to go in with the black source here. And we can go in for 2. I mean, probably just go straight with the Moth, right? Garruk is good. They had to tap, so they won't have a creature. This is a decent minus. We can kill Garruk now is the thing, though. So this is really cool. We get to play our Moth, kill Garruk, and get our creature back from the block. You can do it. No. So they should just kill Charming Prince, because then at least the 3/3 survives. This way it dies. You know, we mill ourselves again, and we gain 2 life. Don't mind if I do, Hugh. Don't mind if I do. Hopefully they play the whole match out. They don't just auto-concede. Because it's so rare for us to get this ideal hand going on. This needs to be black for the Cauldron, if we can get to it. And now let's thin the library some more of land. Right, that's going to be the biggest thing for us. This has no reach, so, you know, the Moth kills here. Death Touch in over top as well. What do you do against that field state other than wipe it? We're not even going to get to Gyruda unless we draw it. Oh, nice! Kills our Broodmoth. The plot thickens. Oh my gosh. No blocks, take the damage. We have plenty of, you know, wiggle room here. I wish this didn't come in tapped, right? That would be neat. We have 6 land. I mean, we could just remove this. They have a human. They've got no mana to pay for this right now. That could be our best bet, is just to remove it. That's Thassa. We don't even really need to attack. And let's just drain the deck of lands, and that's going to make the Gyruda Doom of Depths really, really effective. We should be pulling islands from now on. I don't know what I'm thinking. The Kolga's cool. Oh, nice. We should have killed Kolga. My bad. Well, we've got a match now, ladies and gentlemen. Woo! Woo! Alright, I was looking for a match. We got one. Jeez Louise. It's got indestructible. This is the Simulacrum they destroy. Take our draw. There it is. And, yeah, let's just kill that, right? No Moth, which is a bummer. Let's get after it, though. Nothing from them. We get a draw, which is fine. Atris, please. Typically, we just take the 2. We don't really need land if they show us any land. It's a good match now. We should have killed Koga so they couldn't have dropped the henge. And then there would have been no Gargoth yet. Oh, absolutely. What was that other card? Another Gyruda, which can be played for 2. Just so good. Coming with the black source here. No attacks. We're gonna bounce this Gyruda again. We get another Gyruda, nothing from them. Wish there was a Moth in play. We're at 28. Yeah, let's do it. Because we can Cauldron the other ones. Doesn't matter which one we keep. They both came into play this turn. We can take their Troll King, which is probably really, really good. This Prince is really, really good too, though. Let's take our Prince. And then we're going to bounce Gyruda, which, because this is our end step, it will leave play for their turn, and it's actually going to enter on their end step. And we have our Cauldron ready, because our graveyard is thick, thanks to the self-mill. Cauldron also allows us to play pretty loose with our creatures, right? Kind of play them, get their value, and then send them to the grave as chump blockers. Wow. We're gonna need some Elspeth Conquers Deaths or something. This is getting out of hand. Are you serious? What in the H? Because each of these are 2 mana, and that's 2 mana. Wow, that is a lot. Where's a Moth when you need it, right? $24. Does trample, which upsets me. Let's double block the token. They can kill 1. We still take 7. Ooh. Ooh. Okay, we get our Moth. Thank you. Don't want to pay life, but at a certain point, that's what it's going to get into. Okay, so we're all evens. There's a lot of odds here. What is this? 2, 4? No, these are evens too. There's a lot of evens too. A lot of evens. We could get the Gargaroth. They're all evens but Gargaroth. And they have the henge. We do need to Extinction Event for 4 at some point on this turn, which takes us down to 4 available mana, which is not 5. Eight mana. Gyruda's 6, so that's not happening. Let's try to get our ETB effects through the Moth before we do it. There's reach here, so we're not attacking with the Moth itself. We could wipe everything. They got a full hand though. We've got to get busy if we're wiping everything after. We don't have much choice. I don't know. What do you do? Just go nuclear, right? Just flip the whole table over. Fuck this game. I don't know. They have a full hand. And a great henge. They're down to 23. The exile hurt because now the Cauldron doesn't get those cards back. Right, but that board state was nuclear, so that's not gonna... No. Ooh, they're into double draws now if it's 4 or greater. You dog. Basically 3 or greater because it gets a +1 on it. It's still there. Is there a moth in there? There is a moth in there. Cauldron in play. For the moth. And we land in. Let's take our final land here. They shouldn't have haste, I don't think. And we're ready to mill these last 16. Right? We have the Cauldron to pull our Oracle for us. It should be okay. And now we're back to getting roped. This guy. No, not quite. And I shouldn't actually, I shouldn't get too salty because for that last turn we took, you know, almost every second available to us. Rampaging Bronchodon. A Gigantosaurus. Oh my god. We have no more basic lands. So, Gyruda over. Gyruda play. Gyruda from library? No, we don't have that. That all results in us dying. So it's not going to work. It's because our Thassa's already in the grave. And we don't have another. So I would need to bring it out for 3, but then we get killed because we go down to 6. And we're taking a long time again. Oh! They're down to 13. There's no reach. There's no way we're defending this trample, so let's just take our hit. Down to 8. Let's grab Gyruda. And maybe we can just mill them. I don't think it matters. We keep the new one. The old one comes in as a token. And then we keep this one for another trigger, right? And then this one doesn't matter. So we got a couple Gyruda triggers here. Gain some life. Well, that doesn't hurt. A little death touch. Self-mill's not good. Prince Charming will seal the deal for us. Right? On the Gyruda. So as long as we're allowed to mill ourselves and not draw, that's fine. Right? Because we're down to 0. They're going to go to 0 here soon as well. We get another Gyruda trigger. GG. RIP. This has been the most rewarding match of my life. Oh! Thank you for staying with me, guys. That's been an absolute pleasure. I guess we don't even have to do this. We could be bouncing Prince Charming for more life. But just to show you guys how it does work, you know, you play your Gyruda on top of a Gyruda, then the other comes back. You keep the one without flying because the other one comes back with flying. And then the one, you know, without flying comes back with flying, and you can just really stack these Gyruda triggers, which is so much fun, right? And again, we've got the Cauldron to just be putting things back in play. More like Cauldron of Infinity. What? Who gone done do this to us? How's this for a world first, you guys? We're talking about an Infinity loop via Gyruda, Doom of Depths, and the Cauldron. I've been trying to get this done for a couple hours now, but we finally did it. And let's see how long until they give up on the whole rope situation. Oh gosh. This is probably the most rewarding thing I've done in 2020 so far. We're gonna let this rock out. We're gonna have ourselves a little party and see how many stacks we can get before our opponent concedes. Right? Oh, we've been up to no good recently in the arena, right? Oh, we love it. And they just hung in there with us, right? They're letting it go, which is great for content. This has been a great time. Woof. So to break this down, whenever a creature dies, it gets put into the bottom of our library, right? And then the moth brings a creature back into play when it dies, and then because we have 2 copies of Gyruda and the legendary rule, one is automatically dying, going to the grave, the moth brings it back, and there's just an infinity cycle within it that you can mill as many cards as you want, which is pretty cool. So, you know, screw Scoot Swarm. I'm talking about Cauldron of Eternity, Luminous Broodmoth, and Gyruda, Doom of Depths. So, this will be a draw, right? Our opponent will not accept the loss, but let me tell you what, this is the best win I've had all week. Oh. Do we have any good emotes to close this off with? You gotta let it go, right? How many stacks can you get before the game shuts down? As far as Scoot Swarm stacks, I think we can get up to 1,500 Scoot Swarms before you break the game. And I don't think this is actually enough stacks to break the client. I think it's sorting through it relatively quickly. But it will take enough time that the game will just end. You know, anybody can win in Magic the Gathering, right? Can you get a draw, right? That's the real skill. Typically, or recently, I guess I should say that we played with Salt Diversion. It's a lot easier to ramp into the Gyruda with green, but you can get up to a lot more shenanigans with the blue. Or, no, the white, sorry. The moth is what is new. In the other version, you know, you run the Nightmare Shepherd, but when a creature dies and goes to the grave with Nightmare Shepherd and comes back as the token from the Shepherd, it actually gets exiled, so that can only happen once. But with the Broodmoth, it can go forever and ever because there is no exile, which is really, really cool. We're up to 50 plus stacks here. You know, I'm still peaking. So if you did find any value within today's video, make sure to give it a like, share it about in your communities, right? If I could ever make a popular video, this should be it. And of course, subscribe to the channel for more content. And yeah, it's been my pleasure. We could check out Maya's cat wheel while we wait, but she's over on the bed sleeping here. Let me see if I can get an improved angle here. Just while we wait on these awesome stacks to resolve. He knows right when I point the camera at her. She's like, get it out of here. Hey, Maya? Sleeping on the bed? I got it all set up. She's in there. But, yeah. A little bit less impressive than this sick combo, but still, who does love a little cat time? She's a big part of my life. She runs on that wheel at about 3 a.m. I get up super early, start making these jank decks, so it's not all loss. So we've been talking about this game ending in a draw for a while now. How long do you actually get that warning for? Because typically when you have that warning pop up and you've not seen it yet, you're like, oh my god, I gotta finish these turns really, really quick or I'm gonna lose. But we've been at it for a few minutes, without doubt. And we can get this stack out of the way, I guess. Just to see what's happening on the field. Because it's actually happening really quick. Because the one comes out with flying, then it dies. It comes out with flying, and it dies. And it looks like we may have broke it. It stopped. Nope, here it goes. And we're at it again. To recap, if you're just tuning in, we have Luminous Broodmoth in play with Gyruda, Doom of Depths, Cauldron of Eternity, which makes, oh, and Thassa, but I don't think, Thassa's just triggering through Devotion. That's the only reason she's moving about here. But yeah, it's the Cauldron, Gyruda, the Broodmoth, and then because of the legendary rule, only one Gyruda can exist in play at a time. And you just get this unlimited mill. You know, we milled our opponent out long ago, and typically if it would end, if I could stop this, I could stop it, it would go to their turn, they would go to draw, and they would lose the game, right? The game does kind of like lag out a little bit here, and you know, hopefully they work that out, because you know, in 2021 you know, we've been at this for a little bit now. We've got our toes in the water and we know what it takes. So we're going to do our best to bring you guys more janked up combos like this. And, you know, it's not only the combos that we do. We've got, you know, a deep base of free to play and, you know, beginners to Magic the Gathering Arena that we really try to cater to. So, you know, decks with 0 rares, 0 mythics, and, you know, some with very few of. And we've got you guys farming guides, you know, everything that you could want to succeed in the arena. 500,000 gem giveaway, I'm sure you're aware of that. Free cash prize monthly tournaments, Join the Discord for more information on that. I guess this is a great time to do my plugs, right? My call to actions. Did I tell you guys to like, comment, and subscribe again? Why haven't you shown this to all of your friends already? Click the share button. Send it to every chat that you have access to. You want to get kicked out of chats. You send this around so much, right? Oh, gosh. So there we go. I'm not sure about this warning. This has been now the least threatening warning I've ever had. Maybe like... I don't think there'll be a draw. Like, I'm losing faith. Will it go the full 20 minutes that the game is? Like, because you know how you get, like, the match timers? Will it just, like, use all of that? For science, right? We gotta get after it. I'm not walking away now. And you know what? Neither are they, which I love. That's the coolest thing I've, you know, come across. Try to rope us off the start. You know, we get a perfect hand. They somehow get a perfect hand as well for some crazy green jank, which was frightening. You know, we were dead next turn, but no, sir. Not today. Or madame, who knows, right? I've been thinking about Cauldron of Eternity for a few days, and I'm like, okay, the Great Henge is like so good, and Embercleave is so good. How do I make Cauldron of Eternity really good? And, you know, now that we have, we're moving on to the Circle of Loyalty, which is the white mythic enchantment from Eldraine. Of course, black is from Eldraine as well, the Cauldron. Green within the Henge, and red within Embercleave. Embercleave, because he cleaned the field. But that's within red, right? So, you know, there's some really powerful mythic enchantments in the Throne of Eldraine, and the Cauldron hasn't really got to see its day yet. And, you know, we see a lot of mill right now. The crab is just, you know, enough to make you want to quit playing the game. And then don't even get me started on Dimir Rogues, right? So if your opponent is always kind of like milling you, why not take advantage of that? Typically, you'd never play a 12 CMC. That's ridiculous. Good luck getting that in play. But for 2, that's not bad. That is not bad at all. We're actually up to about 120 stacks of mill 4 play a creature. So we would, if we had unlimited decks, have like 100 of their creatures. 120 of their creatures. It's a little bit. It's a little bit. Yeah. Lots more decks on the channel. Make sure to check those out, you guys. I'm not sure how many of you will watch this to the end for science. You probably skipped ahead already, but you know, I gotta be in here for the long con. This guy's just begging we walk away. Super grateful he stayed, because I do want to see how many stacks we get. At least then I can say, you know what? When you get that warning, you actually have about 10 minutes until your next turn needs to be over. Because that's, you know, they don't tell you that. No, like, warning, you've got 10 minutes to finish your turn. It's just like, if you don't finish, it might be a draw. Watch us not know, and because there's a new trigger all the time, it won't end, and we'll just spend hours here. Right? Who knows? That's why we're here for science. So make sure, if you haven't, like the video, share it to a friend, subscribe to the channel for more. And if you guys want free gems, free packs, free individual cards, the codes for the store, I do 2 YouTube premieres, sometimes 3, every single day. When those videos get up to 50 likes, then I give out the codes, right? We do typically 1,000 gems to kick it off. And after that, it's IRC codes and whatever else we have. We did have some 3-pack codes, and it's whatever codes I can get from the Content Creator Program are being given out to you guys during my YouTube Live premieres, which are every day at 6 a.m. and 6 p.m. Mountain Standard. I don't know what your time is for that. You'll have to do the conversion. Just Google it. MST for Mountain Standard, and whatever your time zone is, right? So 6 in the morning, 6 at night, we are playing, you know, on YouTube or live in the chat with the community, giving out codes, talking about the deck and, you know, the matches, this and that. So it's a great time. Come hang out. we'd love to have you there. And of course, if you do enjoy this YouTube content, consider becoming a YouTube member, which we do have exclusive videos for you guys. Everything from box openings, limited, historic, brawl, basically everything that's not standard and education based. We do the standard decks and a lot of the education. We do a few historic decks when I'm pushing for rank, but other than that, you know, a lot of it is exclusive content for our YouTube members, just to show a little gratitude, right? To go above and beyond for you guys. If you feel the need to support me, I'll give you a little extra. We're up to 150 stacks here. I might have to take a nap, right? Yeah, meanwhile, at Wizards of the Coast, technicians run around frantically trying to look at the servers. What's causing this meltdown? I thought we resolved the Scoot Swarm stacks. What's doing this? Right? There's not enough employees here. Everybody's gone home because COVID. Call in some more devs. And that's just with me doing it. Do you guys remember opening day of the pre-release events? I know there's so many content creators abusing the Scoot Swarm all at the same time. It obliterated whatever their infrastructure was. It was awesome. Oh god, I'm pretty sure every single content creator solved the riddle of you making 1,500 Scoot Swarms within the first 3 hours of the Zendikar pre-release. Good times, good times. Well, I hope I've been, somewhat entertaining throughout this process for you guys. I ran out of things to say 150 stacks ago. But if you guys are just tuning in, you're not sure what's going on, we have a copy of Luminous Broodmoth in play. Whenever a creature you control without flying dies, return it to the battlefield under its owner's control with a flying counter on it. We also have a Cauldron of Familiar in play. This spell costs 2 less to cast for each creature in your graveyard, which is full. And then whenever a creature you control dies, put it into the bottom of your library instead of your graveyard, which is great, so you can't get milled through the death of things. And then, of course, we can pay 3 to tap it, also paying 2 life for this to bring a creature card from our graveyard back into play, which is just what we did to, get a second copy of Gyruda, Doom of Depths in play. Of course, we do have the first, and when it enters the battlefield, you and your opponent mill the top 4 cards from the library. You then get to pick a creature card with even converted mana costs from among them, put it into play, right? So that's really, really cool. And Gyruda is a legendary. You'll see the mill effect's not happening at this point anymore because we don't have any cards in our library. But because of the legendary rule, only one can exist at a time. So when one enters, one dies, goes to the graveyard, comes back with the moth with flying, dies again, goes to the grave on the bottom, and it's like you get a little loop going, which is very, very, very cool. Because the Cauldron is taking it from the graveyard to the library, and then the moth stack triggers, taking it from the graveyard to play, and it just goes forever. So let me know if you guys have seen this anywhere else on YouTube before, and if not, you better smash that like button, you better hit that subscribe button, even go ahead, smash that bell, and then you won't miss out on our lives on YouTube where we do the gem giveaways, right? Decent. Thassa is really great in the deck to explain a little bit of the other concepts, because it will bounce permanents every turn, and bouncing Gyruda is great because it'll get the trigger of it again. Bouncing the Triton is great. We get the mill, which reduces the cost of the Cauldron. Also gaining life plus death touch, which is kind of a bit of survivability and removal. Prince Charming, we can scry for the right cards, we can gain life for survivability, and then we can actually bounce things like Gyruda again, which is really cool. And then the Simulacrum pulls land, helps us ramp into Gyruda. It also, when it dies, draws us a card, which is great. So that's the whole deck. Pretty simple, oddly enough. And you know, pulling it off isn't always the easiest thing. In our current meta, I think it's the easiest that it's ever been, and typically maybe something that wasn't super possible until all of the mill. Even though this was not any mill, we didn't see any mill by our opponent, which typically we do, which is good. It's nice to know that it can function, you know, against decks that aren't Dimir rogues, right? Typically, you know, the rogues mill a cauldron. They're like, uh-oh, right? And you play one, and then they'll scoop or something. Against the rogues, you've got the Broodmoth, which is great. You know, it's a flyer. It can block things. Everything else that dies comes back as flyers, which can block things. And the Prince Charming, the Triton, all gain us life, which is really good. There's people in Twitch chat here. I have to go to work, but we have to stay for science. And you know, if you're just watching this on YouTube, we are on Twitch as well throughout our days, obviously filming this content for you guys. Come hang out, drop Prime on your boy. I'd appreciate it. Only 28 of my 70,000 faithful subjects per month choose to do this, so you could be one of the top echelon characters or supporters within my community. LOL. Right? Almost up to 200 stacks. You know, this is unbelievable. Unbelievable. We do get lagged out pretty hard for like seconds at a time. I'm not frozen. I'm definitely still here, but the game client's not doing so hot. Oh, here we go. It's the stack it all up at once event, right? Lovely. I gotta take a drink of water here. Let's kick back and enjoy the show. $207 stacks, and we're lagged up again. Let's see how many stacks we can get before the next lag, right? Let's take a bet on that. In the comments below, write how many stacks we're gonna get to before the next lag out. I'm gonna guess 223. That's my guess. And the second guess, I want to know how long you think it's going to lag out for. I'm going to say 30 seconds. So I got 223 and 30 seconds. In the comments below, you guys. Little in-house betting. You know, can't go wrong with that. It just comes, as soon as you lean back, put the hands up, it's like, okay, let's make some bets. 223. Let's go, baby. Might have been a little high, I don't know. Have faith, though. Right? This client can handle a couple stacks. Don't worry about it. Right? Do you guys have any, like, bedtime stories I could read you? I could use one. I would pass or write out, honestly. 215 we got to. And 1, 2, 3... 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. $23, $24, $25, $26, $29, $28, $29. I was off on both, so we got whatever we got to. Let me know if you guessed right or not. If someone got that, let me know. I'll give you a code for some free shenanigans if you got that right. Jesus. This guy's insane. Gyruda, Doom of Depths. On the first time it was played in Ikoria, the first couple days, oh my gosh, Gyruda was everywhere. Thassa, I think, came out in Theros right before it, and it was just like, okay, well that's a combo made in heaven, right? All right, we're lagged up again. 225. So it took pretty much 2 cycles to get as high as I thought it would. Woof. Well, I mean, here's content, right? You get to hear me jib jab, jib jab. Should we break down the current meta or something? Like, what do you guys want to? What do you want to talk about? I got stuff to say if you want to hear it. The Serpent's cool as well in the current meta because A, there's rogues which are milling, and that allows you to play it later on. Right, so it's like if it gets milled, it's not a big problem. And then there's also Rakdos in the meta trying to take advantage of rogues. So when the Serpent goes from your grave back to, I don't know if it goes to the battlefield or your hands. I should know that. Back to your hand from the grave, you're actually exiling 5 cards from your opponent's graveyard, and you can exile, you know, their Wolf Striders, their Croxes, you know, even sometimes they'll use Cling to Dust or like some escape cards, but you can get rid of them all. It's great. Even just taking them from 5 down to 0 is just so rewarding. They will, they'll scoop, and the way it works out is very good as well. Right, I think. I've got a Windows communication. We gotta sit up. This is getting serious. I think I might have broken the client. We're at 234, and I've got a Windows error going on. We switched from the. Oh no, we're back. We're back. Everything's okay. Woo! We can continue our discoveries. Again, it's just an endless loop, and we got this warning. I swear it feels like 15 minutes ago, 25 minutes ago, where they're like, if you don't settle down, it's a draw. And you know what's great about this is it scared me, but it gave our opponent hope, and it's still giving them hope. They're like, well, if I just sit here, it's gonna be a draw. But we don't know that. We have no idea if that actually happens or not. Typically, you get in with the Scoot Swarms, and the Scoot Swarms actually break the client before the draw can happen. So, right? Up to 245. I don't want to touch anything. I don't want Windows getting in the way of this at all. We just want to let the whole environment run. And to give you guys a little heads up, we're running on quite the computer here today. We've got a GTX 3070. Let's be serious. 128 gigabytes of RAM pushing these tokens through. A bunch of SSDs. You know, it's running on an M2 drive, so it's very, very quick. Are there even other parts in a computer? We have I don't even know. We've got like a Alien Age Intel processor. I know my old one. I have no idea what this one is. They're just numbers, right? But the biggest and baddest, you know what it is. Maybe I can go over here. I should know those numbers. Well, we're just doing a science experiment. Okay. About your PC. Bleep bloop blah. Get this over here. It is an i10 900K. And, you know, we're running at a cool 50 degrees on the CPU, 51 on the GPU. So, you know, literally as good as it will get without you being autistic and spending $10,000. So, and that just goes to show that it's not your hardware, right? For the most part, it is the software, because, you know, your boy plays whatever he wants in Ultra setting. I've been crushing, you know, Dirt Rally 2 in Ultra, Descenders in Ultra. Looks absolutely amazing. I've actually never experienced graphics like this in my life. Because typically, you know, been playing on low settings, and, you know, those graphics they're not great, but the game works. But now it's like, oh, look at this grass. It's actually like I'm ripping through it, which is fun. A 3090, oh my lord. That's the big boy. I've been looking at that 3060 Ti. How does that compare spec-wise? Just seems odd that they're releasing them so quickly. Anyways, we're still scooting up. I imagine that we just run at 1080. I don't know, maybe 4K? Does that matter? I've actually not looked. Change that on our monitor, right? Or is that actually on our computer? Oh, just turn our monitor off. 1 minute, you guys. We'll be right back. If anything crashes the game, it'll be that. Are we still here? Let me try to see if my oh, hello. You know, science experiment gone wrong. But yeah, I've been having such a good time with these graphics lately. Yeah, we're just in 1080. However you change that. I don't even know if it would matter. I never thought of that. I should be gaming in 4K. How do we get rid of this? There we go. I've actually never tried that. I just assumed it automatically went there. Woo! Well, after these billion stacks resolve, LOL, we'll, you know, do that a little bit later. Got all this new hardware to play Shadowlands, right? Just really pushing. I don't even think my fans turn on when I play WoW anymore. Which is fine. I'm a fan of, you know, having everything really cool all the time. Yeah, I've got this nice MSI gaming monitor, which should be dandy. Typically, I've been running just like cheap Samsung monitors, which are great. They're a good deal. But I thought gaming monitors were a ripoff. I was like, you know what? They're twice the price and exactly the same size, and they're not worth it. But after getting the 4K monitor and having just the lame monitor, oh my gosh. It's like living in a different world. Honestly, it's like not having glasses and needing them. Yeah, I feel like everybody's playing Shadowlands with their new RTXs for no reason. You know, you don't want to skip a raid frame, right? Gotta have that DPS up, 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 up. Now, my latency is my biggest issue. We're up to 277 with another lag in science. I believe we'll get there. Hopefully we break 300. Hopefully. As we approach 1 hour of stacks, almost. Absolutely incredible. If anyone on YouTube is still watching, you know what? Thank you kindly. Typically, and even myself might fast forward through the video, but it will really increase my just general exposure if you watch it the whole way, right? And maybe I'll do 2 versions of it. I'll do a quick version and a slow version, because we could be here for hours more. I don't know, right? So thanks to everybody who's on Twitch, who's keeping me sane right now. In the NVIDIA control panel, we have to just change it? Okay, cool. Good to know, bro. Good to know. Uh-oh, 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 uh-oh. Okay, we have to reconnect now. And things are definitely 100% frozen. I'm used to this. I think this is just a normal error. So let's close that. We're going to try to reopen our client. Microsoft Windows has stopped responding. No, you can not end your process. Give me a Control-Delete, please, to my manager. Stream is still going, which is good. Not responding, close program. So what's crazy is Magic isn't even running in my task manager right now, and it's still trying to close. So we're gonna cancel. I want Windows to stay running. I might have to go log into another computer. Oh, we had the Unity crash come up. The client has crashed, ladies and gentlemen. 277 stacks, I think. Let's get back in there. We've got this. We can do it. You know, we're gonna be right back. Trying to get our shtick going on again. Let me turn this off. Bleep, bloop, blah, blah. Loading, loading, loading. Better than my desktop. All right. Let's see if we can, if that will get us back into the match. Typically, we would be worried about the timer going, but with the unlimited stacks, there is no timer, so we should be fine. Oh my gosh. Welcome to the channel, everybody. Make sure to like, comment, subscribe, share to your friends, please, and hit the bell icon for more notifications on our awesome content. We're stuck again, though, it seems. So we just seen us go from 0 to 1,000 stacks like that. That was the most explosive levels of dopamine my brain has ever experienced. And now we're frozen off again. So it's like, especially after that huge high. I need another 1,000 stacks, man. Jokes, kids. You know, don't do stacks. Gyruda, you go ahead and resolve. I almost want to reload the client again. We're gonna sit here until we get boxed out, though. I noticed the warning did go away, though. We're no longer being warned of the game ending. So, you know, maybe we can kick back for the long haul. And at the end of the day, I just can't let this guy win. We can't leave. I want to go do other stuff, sure. But I refuse. Right? Covert would be disappointed if I left this match to record another. You gotta stick it through, right? For science. Not my ego about beating this guy who tried to rope us off the start. That's totally unrelated. Make sure to drink some water, you guys. The most important thing you can put in your body. Even more important than stacks. C. That's actually really good clickbait. That's going to be the name of this video. Thank you, bro. I really appreciate that. That's so funny. At least that's going in the description. It's going somewhere. I don't know what to do, you guys. I don't want to leave. I still have to stay here and entertain you guys somehow. Rabbling on. I think everything's, you know, gone to hell. You know, we're not getting any more stacks, which is sad. We've been here for 5 minutes plus at 1,000, just sitting. You know, we're not getting timed out for a draw. We have totally shifted into another dimension. You know, time is no longer relevant. You know, we don't abide by the boundaries of, you know, turns and priority cards. It's just stacks. The only thing that matters is stacks. I want 1,063 likes on this video. That will make me a happy camper. Right? 1 like for every stack? That should be more than doable. I don't know. What else can we ramble about here? Did you guys watch Moonbase 8? Great TV show. I loved it. Fred Armisen just cracks me up. So funny. Portlandia, another one of his shows I find just absolutely hilarious. Good times. Let me know your favorite show in the comment below. I'm big into sci-fi, comedy, you know, typically those two, I guess. Fantasy, sci-fi, right? That's maybe similar. You know, I've been so bored of not having any content to watch because I watch so much content that I've been debating dipping the toes into the anime scene because I know you have millions of episodes. Y'all are nuts. And like the stories are pretty good, I hear, from a lot of them. So, you know, we might get into that. But let me know your favorite show or piece of content, whether it's movie or whatever, in the comments below so I can binge out on that later. And if this goes any longer, I'm going to have to throw something up in the background. Right? Is it milling and exiling my whole card collection in the background that we don't know about? Right? We're going to, like, get kicked out of the game. It's going to be like, log in again, and it's going to be like, your password has been milled. Please create a new account. Right? It's going to go through our whole card database, mill everything, mill our gems, mill our gold, mill our wild cards, and probably even mill our account credentials as well. I would not doubt it. That's how serious this is. All right, so we talked about movies. Let's talk about music. What kind of music do you guys like? I listen to the tunes all day long, and you know, I'm a hip hop guy. I like you know, metal as well. You know, I'm not scared of Cradle of Filth. I'll go there. I like it. You know, Megadeth is, you know, mega awesome. The hip hop, you know, all over the place. Decca is like my main go-to. Orange, you know, anybody that works with him is absolutely amazing. You know, that covers so many people. Everybody in Rhymesayers is sick as far as hip hop goes as well. And you know, electronic dance music used to be a lot, not so much recently. Soulwax, too many DJs, right? That's the same two people. Anything they touch is gold. Justice, right? Anybody on Ed Banger, right, which is the label that Justice is on, is really good as well. I like most Ed Banger stuff. What do you guys like? That's a pretty good start. If you've never heard of those, look those up. We're still sitting here. I don't know if I should restart my client or not. I don't think we're getting any more stacks to trigger. I honestly do not know. And I feel like I can't sit here anymore. Should we reboot our client one more time? And just see if we can get it to load? Or do I just leave and come back? Like, we're here. I don't think they're here though. And our client is like running. We can look at cards. It's not locked up. It's just not doing what. I can't even scroll through them. I don't know, man. I'm nervous. Let's close the client out again. Let's open it up, right? Let's see how that works out. We were just sitting there for 9 minutes with nothing happening other than the original stacks. So, not a good sign as far as our science adventure goes. Let's see if we can get into it. Black screen, here we go. Gathering local files. Loading card database, which should be very quick to do now that we've milled it. Loading into the match still, another good sign, right? I don't want to leave until we get the draw. I'm surprised that it's not triggered it yet. I think it should trigger a draw long before this. I'm not gonna lie, it's cool that it didn't showcase it. Look at this go unlimitedly, but you know, that's the thing about eternity. Be careful what you wish for. We're at 1063. Oh, yeah, just to 1063 again. That's all we can get. Everything slams onto the field. Oh, it's going. Houston, we have ignition. We'll click resolve all. You know, we keep that. It goes to the grave. It comes back with flying. And we're having to redo this again, which is pretty funny. Now we keep the one without flying. Right? I don't think it matters. Yeah. Oh no, sorry, we keep the one with flying. That's my bad. I made a misclick there. But I almost don't think it doesn't matter because there's two of them. But I don't want to click this forever. Right, maybe if we do it correctly this time, it will go automatically. Let's get those out of the way. They're distracting us. And you click on the legendary that you want to keep. Right? And I can't read that because of the double text, but let's keep the one with flying this turn. Then the one without flying comes back with flying, and then that's the better way to do it, I think. And that might go infinitely. No. How did we get ourselves into the position where we now have to click all of these triggers? Well, you know what I'm doing today. Oh my god. This takes forever as well. Can we add this guy and send him a message? Tell him to please concede? That's probably what he's trying to do to us. It's like, I'm never gonna concede. Cauldron of Eternity, you know, whenever it goes to the grave, goes bottom to the library. Moth takes it from the library, puts it in play. Legendary rule can exist two on the field at once, so we got to sack one after the ETB triggered. It goes to the grave, comes back. We're still waiting on this draw. An hour later. No joke on that. That's quite literal. We've been here for an hour. There's no way this guy's still at his computer. They definitely just Control-Alt-Deleted it. 100%, I'm playing against myself right now. Without a joke. Free cash prize monthly tournaments. You know, join in on those. 500,000 gem giveaway. Call to action, call to action, call to action. Right? Well, we are at least making progress, which is good to see. What's your guys' high score on Solitaire? I'd love to know. Right? I think we can maybe beat it here today. It was a lot cooler when it did it automatically, man. It used to just do it for us. And now it's not. And that's sad. Do you think if we exited our client and loaded back in, if it would start doing it automatically? Or we'd have to just, you know, click through it again? I bet we'd have to just click through it again. I don't want to waste more time than we already have. I should not have said that we were going to play this out to the end. I'm regretting every ounce of that. I think we will literally just be here for the end of time. Like, that warning means nothing. It means absolutely nothing. They don't care how long your turns take. They're just trying to get you to go faster. It's like a suggestion. That's not a warning. That's like a, hey, hurry up, please. It's, you know, not kind to take a long time. That's got nothing to do with the draw. That's got nothing to do with the, hey, this or else, right? That's not an ultimatum or a warning. These guys are trying to be stern with us. You know, that's fine. I see there's no follow through. I might go insane from this. We may need donations to help cover psychiatric costs. What happened? He found himself in an infinity loop, and he refused to concede for the sake of science. At least that's what he told himself, and that's where the psychosis will lie. It's like, you know, just picture me now, lean back on the big old couch, boys. Here I was, caught between the cauldron and the Gyruda. At what stack does my mental situation deteriorate into the point of, you know, preset psychosis? Maybe I could just not click an action, but then my timer would go out and we would just lose from going slow. Or what if we passed our turn by letting the timer run out? It passes to their turn, but then that exact same thing would happen to, and we both are sitting on 0 timeouts. I don't even think I'll make it to 1100. I'm gonna be honest. I don't think I have it in me. I think science is getting the best of me today, you guys. You know, I had hope at the warning. I was like, you know what? Let's see where the warning actually comes into play. But I no longer exist in this plane. We've been transported somewhere between Ikoria and Eldraine. We're not sure where we're at. The fact that you think the loop is still gonna end the game is proof of psychosis already? Oh no. And we know the game doesn't break until 1500. So, you know, I cannot do this for another 425 clicks. That's insane. That's beyond my level of crazy. You know what I mean? Yeah, sure. I play for the left side a few days of the week, but this is too much. This is not okay. Oh my god. I'm done at 775, 1075, 1075. Oh my. Can't do it. I can't go on. Please, just end the game. Please. I'm begging you for mercy. I feel like our stacks are going down now. We were at 1073. We're down to 69. Oh my god. I see. It goes down and up. Down and up. Oh my gosh. As soon as I see that 5 there, I'm done. How much content did you get done today, bro? Only 1 video. Wow, I thought you were doing 3 videos a day. Well, I kind of got distracted. Please give me a 75. It's like we're in limbo. I said I wanted 1075, and now we just can't get it. There it is! We did it! Look at that, you guys. We won the game. Oh, now we've left down to 4. Just like every other game, when I think I've won, it gets ripped from beneath me. I want to do it more, but at the end of the day, I can't. I don't have it in me. I'm a fucking quitter, you guys. I almost want to just let the timeout go, though. You know what? I'm not going to concede. I want to just maybe let the opponent go. What if we take... Can we just pass our turn? Maybe the auto pass was all we needed to do for these triggers to go crazy. The whole time I've been clicking for no reason. I just had to click auto pass. No. I was about to fucking flip out. Alright, we're at 1075. And we're getting the warning again? Don't warn me about anything. I do not trust you. Untrustable. So let's just resolve all and pass our turn. I can't even submit 0. Would we concede or would we pass our turn? It's 0 of these little things here, which I think means we have no timeouts left because we use them trying to big brain ourselves into this situation. I guess I could concede. It just feels so wrong. It's like they won. They're a roper. They can't win. So I think you get that warning when the game is processing data only. And then when it triggers and stacks, that's all just your turn. All right, we got our 1075. Let's kick back and start the rope. How the ropey becomes the roper, right? I mean, I'd rather rope for a draw than concede. And if this were paper Magic, I believe you could say, well, sir, I have you in an infinite loop. And then you just win the game. But unfortunately, we don't have that possibility here. Da, 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 da. The good thing about all this is we're on our end step. So when we pass priority through not playing for 2 minutes, it goes directly to our opponent's turn. And it's going to be on their upkeep. And if they're not at their computer, then they're going to have that timeout function go on their draw step, on their main phase, to attackers, to second main phase, to end phase, and that will be enough of the play, or you're gonna skip out to result in the concede. I think as long as we can get through this first one without conceding ourselves, right? So we're trying our best, seeing if we can snake our way out of this with a W, or at least a draw. We're in the play queue. A win has never been so important to me in my life. Right? I'm actually incredibly surprised that we've not even had a timeout timer pop up. Typically, I get those all the time. Maybe we've broken the game to the point where it's like, you know what? Just let this kid do what he wants. Oh, shoot. Where's my vape when I need it? We're coming up to an hour and 20 minutes for a single match of Magic. Best of 1, which is incredible. It's not too uncommon to go an hour and best of 3. And, we've not even done a deck tech on this yet, so it's going to be an hour and a half video. And I will probably edit a quicker one, but yeah, this just happened. I just had breakfast. It's gonna be lunch by the time these stacks resolve. Right? Have my sleep cycle, get up in the morning. Oh my god. It's gotta to have been more than 2 minutes. Why has the game not timed us out? I think that there is no timeout anymore. I couldn't agree more that it's either click forever or concede. Those are our 2 options. That's awkward. I'll give it another minute, and then we're gonna call it quits, you guys. I don't even. The game is broken. Oh my god. We could, frame this so many ways. How to have unlimited turn length in Magic the Gathering Arena. That's a good one, right? Oh my gosh. There's no rope coming. There is no rope, you guys. And I'm not allowed to submit 0, which is awkward. Okay. Thank you for your time and attention. We'll have a few wrap-up thoughts here to close out the match, but make sure to like, comment, subscribe, and, I had to go make some phone calls, apparently. Look for something to help me sort through this. All right. This pains me so much, but I have other things to do with my day. And, let's take a look at their deck real quick. Pretty cool stuff in here, that's for sure. This is breaking my heart. Let's do it one more time. Let me just pass my turn. Submit 0. Come on! There's no way out of it. I thought maybe we could just do anything. It's like, do you know the code, bro? This is how to break a streamer's heart. Oh, we can't concede either. There we go. Oh, Lord. I can't believe we lost that match. I don't even know how to close this out. To those of you still watching, you're absolutely fucking legends. I really appreciate it. You know, I'm sure it's super easy to skip through, but you know, I did provide some commentary throughout it. I tried, at least. You know, I'll watch it back and probably, you know, want to just cry because we left it in and didn't edit it out. But you know, we really tried to do our best to push the client to its maximum, and we definitely discovered a couple new things about it. You know, rules, even though like artificially placed, so you shouldn't have any control over them, and you can't just decide to break them, right? Like I can't just choose to play multiple lands per turn because I decided. There's still wiggle room and like you know, errors about. You know, they might not always work out in your favor, but that's one thing I've loved about video games in general is like, how can I break this, right? How can I absolutely mangle this? Like I've been doing that forever in I think every game I've ever played. So let me know what you guys thought of the video. This is one of my greatest creations yet, I think, and we've just been banging them out of the park, making such good decks for you guys. So I hope you enjoy. Do take care. Make sure to like, comment, subscribe, share the channel to a friend, support financially, Twitch, Patreon, YouTube, buying Christmas things through our Amazon link. Easy peasy, lemon squeezy. You know, we've got a lot going on, gem giveaways, Discord shenanigans. Check it all out. Tournaments, blah, blah, blah. You've already been here too long, you guys. I apologize. Take care, have yourselves a magical day, and again, thank you so much.